What's up guys, my name's Ryan, and hey, I finally get to talk about Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition in this channel. So here's a fun fact for you all. You might think going off of my channel's videos that Persona 5 or Final Fantasy 7 are probably my favorite games of all time, right? Not exactly the case. Xenoblade Chronicles is my favorite game of all time, and it has been for many years. When it was announced about almost 2 months ago that the game was going to be getting a full-on HD remaster for the Nintendo Switch, with Biona's shoulder, new armor, possibly even more, I might have near to cried. A little bit. It was a big moment for me, okay? Either way, since then though, there's pretty much just been radio silence from both Monolith Soft and Nintendo on the title. However, this video is primarily covering a leak and rumor on the game itself, coming from a retailer in the UK. Did Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition's release date get leaked? Well, let's find out. Let's mosey, soldiers. First off, this info comes from the user on Reddit known as #Rain, who gave out for this information on the Xenoblade Chronicles subreddit. He found out that the retailer in the UK, known as coolshop.co/UK, listed the release date for the game as May 29th, 2020. Now, I'm sure you're all saying the same thing. This is just a random listing from a retailer, probably doesn't mean much, it happens all the time. And usually I'd agree. However, Coolshop does have a bit of a history with leaking fairly accurate stuff. On July 14th, 2014, Coolshop listed Grand Theft Auto 5 for next gen and the release date for November 14th, 2014. On September 12th, 2014, it was officially announced by Rockstar that the game would in fact be releasing on November 18th. Now, while this wasn't exactly correct, it was also only 4 days prior. It does feel a bit weird how exactly they were able to get the same month and only a few days prior to the actual release. Now, there are 2 other pieces of info, but to be fair, they aren't as definitive as the GTA 5 leak. On January 26th, 2018, Coolshop listed Spider-Man for PS4 for a release date of September 28th, 2018. On April 4th, 2018, it was announced that it would be releasing on September 7th, 2018. Now, while this wasn't the exact release date, it did get the month right, as well as the fact that it landed on a Friday. The other one is for Red Dead Redemption 2. Coolshop had listed the game for a release date of June 6th, 2018. At the time, the game had a release date of spring 2018, however, it was announced in February that it was delayed to October. There's no definitive proof that this was originally real since it was delayed, but it is definitely possible with the spring release date originally. For one thing, while Xenoblade Chronicles 2 did release in December of 2017, it was fairly likely the game was sort of rushed out the door, if the optimization for the game is anything to go by, and how much better Torna, the DLC add-on for the game, was optimized. Most likely, it was rushed out the door for the holiday season. I mean, hey, the game did sell really well, it's the best selling in the franchise, but still, you can't deny the fact that it was most likely rushed out the door. If we're going off of the original Japanese release dates for Xenogears, all 3 Xenosaga titles, Xenoblade Chronicles, Xenoblade Chronicles 3D, and Xenoblade Chronicles X, these all fell in line with a release date of February to July, or at least in between. While Xenoblade Chronicles released much later with localization along with other games as well, like Xenoblade Chronicles X, which released later that year in the winter for the US. So there is a good bit going for this leak, even if I am personally fairly skeptical. However, there is just one teeny tiny little detail if this releases on May 29th next year. It's also falling on the same day as one of the biggest PlayStation exclusives on this generation, The Last of Us Part 2. Now sure, it is a different genre and a different console, but Xenoblade is still very niche, and The Last of Us, especially The Last of Us Part 2, is huge. I'm a bit worried personally that if it does release on this day, it may just get buried by the release of The Last of Us Part 2. Though going off of the other leaks though, I don't think it'll release on May 29th in particular. Personally, I think it's probably going to release in May, but on a different day. But hey, if this means I get to play my favorite game of all time again in early 2020 on the Switch with HD graphics, including Biona's shoulder, I'm happy. I swear, I'm going to be burnt out by RPGs by the end of 2020. Final Fantasy VII Remake, Persona 5 Royal, possibly Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, and I assume at least Persona 5 Scramble, all within a few months. It's going to be a big year for JRPG fans like myself, and I'm sure for all the people watching. But, with all that done, what do you guys think of all of this? Do you believe the release date with Coolshop's track record, or do you think it may still release in May, but under a different date like, say, Spider-Man, Red Dead, and GTA 5? Comment below, and let me know. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you guys all later. Peace out. Signing off.